You're the one that said it. Payroll is a career. You know what I
It
mean?
is. Yeah.
Welcome back, folks. We have our guest today, Beck Dillon from the UK with us. Good morning, Walt. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm excited to have Beck. Would you prefer to be called Beck or Becky?
Oh, definitely Becky.
Becky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I noticed that too. She has Beck there, and she had Becky before, and I was like, "Whoa, wait, come on, let me know what's real here."
Yeah, definitely Becky.
Good
Okay.
day. How you doing, Becky? So
Yeah.
tell us who you are. You're gonna teach us a little bit about in-house payroll versus bureau payroll, and honestly, all of that for the folks in the U.S. and outside the UK. You're gonna teach us about the whole thing, and I'm here for it. Curious about what does bureau mean, because we use bureau in the US, but not when it comes to payroll. So
Yeah,
like
different
I'm interested
terminologies.
to, yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
go, please share with us.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm Becky Dillon. So I work for an incredible accountancy firm in the UK called Accounts and Legal. So we have literally just last month won a Zero Award for the Large Firm of the Year.
Oh,
So one of big awards.
congratulations.
Yeah. We're sort of up and coming, really big into technology, really getting ourselves out there. So we do things a little bit differently. We're not really your typical accountancy firm. So it's getting away from being that that accountant that you dread seeing, the once a year type thing.
Very
We have like
stuffy
regular,
and
yeah, they're very fresh, and we're into like doing like fun TikToks, that
I
kind of
saw
thing.
that. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
really
good.
getting just doing things differently, and that's how we are growing like massively. So we're really getting homing in on like new businesses
Congratulations.
in the UK and things like that. So yeah, we have obviously along with accountancy, we do bookkeeping, and then also we have a payroll team, if you like. The firm has actually been going for about 10 years, but the actual payroll side of the business, which as we were going to discuss like the term bureau, was actually launched about 2 years ago by myself. So the bureau side of the business, obviously they were running lots of payrolls, but they were being done by different accountancies. So we've now got a specific payroll team, if you like, and we've built that up to a team of
Congratulations.
5.
Nice.
So we're growing quite
Yeah, it's a big team.
consistently with the team and
Congrats.
things. So
That's
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
amazing. That's
So
amazing.
so tell us, what is a bureau, right? Because you consider yourselves that do you consider that team a bureau style?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I suppose the terminology is bureau. So you've obviously got a lot of small, medium businesses that are like outsourcing.
Yep.
So they'll obviously be outsourcing their bookkeeping and things like that. And a lot of you find in the UK especially that a lot of businesses are outsourcing the payroll.
Okay.
So the reason we're called a bureau, I suppose it's a loose term really because we do multiple payrolls. So we probably do nearly 400
Mm.
clients
Oh,
that run
wow.
payrolls for. So they're all small, medium businesses. So that's like the term used for a bureau because we obviously offer a service for lots of different clients.
I do want to ask the bureau part of it. I feel like you said it to me when we talked that it's like beginning to end, like you do the whole process
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
client,
Mm.
yeah,
right?
Right.
yeah. So a client will literally come on board. Either they haven't got a payroll pay as you earn scheme, so we have to register them in the UK as a pay as you earn
Okay.
scheme.
Ah,
They might have one existing, they might have done the payroll themselves, but it's becoming too big or too complex and too complicated because in the UK you've also got like HR functions, like obviously like holiday pay, holiday calculations.
yeah.
You have the financy side of it as well, and you've got pension, like we have auto enrollment pension schemes in the UK.
Mm,
So if you hire a worker in the UK, you've got to by law offer a pension scheme, so it can get quite
really?
complex. Yeah, we can actually set up those pension schemes for our clients. So it's not like they have to like spend time doing all the admin side of things as well.
Do the employers
Mm.
have to contribute funds to the pension scheme? They have to contribute
Yeah,
money
yeah,
to it?
yeah. The employers do.
So it's
Um,
going to expend the employees or the employer?
so it's both. So The
Oh,
minimum in
wow.
the UK at the moment, so you can use a term what we call qualifying earnings. So there's like a banding like to and from of their earnings that can be pensionable.
Right.
In the UK at the moment, typical the minimum that they have to offer is 8% across the board, but that can be split between the employee and the employer. But the typical kind of minimum, if you like, is the employee has to contribute 5% and the employer's 3%. So you get some employers are trying to entice people in and because it's a bit of a benefit to offer a better pension scheme. So they might
Sure.
offer, they might choose to actually cover the whole 8%, for example, but
Wow.
it's very unusual that.
Yep.
But yeah, we're finding that there's lots of things that when people take staff on that they don't
Yep.
realize,
Yep.
especially when they're quite a small company, they have no idea like about the contracts and
Yep.
the different things they have to do. We're taking that away from our clients really and
That's
offering that
awesome.
service. Yeah. But yeah, when we say from start to finish, we're even setting payrolls up within the software and we're doing it right through. So we use a software in the UK called BrightPay.
Ah, okay.
And what's really good is it does interlink with Zero as well. So we can actually post like payroll journals into Zero so they can do the accounting side of the payroll into there as
Nice.
well. But yeah, we've got lots of really good functions. We offer like portals for the employees. So there's
Mm.
even an app for BrightPay in the App Store so they can create their own account and view their pay slips and
Employee self-service.
yeah. So we're quite big
Nice.
on that really.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
that's where
just
the
making
technology is
everything
taking us.
easier. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, okay. That's
So
amazing.
now, so that's the way you guys do it. Now, what's the option for folks? The in-house option for companies is what? Just having their own payroll person and
Yeah,
getting a off the shelf or out of online type of service and doing it themselves.
yeah. So I was going to like maybe touch on kind of the pros and cons of each really, but in
Sure.
terms of like my background, I've worked in both in-house and bureau. So
Okay.
in-house, I've mainly worked for like big organizations that have like
Yep.
15,000 staff.
Yep.
You'd be running like a section of the
Wow.
payroll, but
Yeah.
kind of a bit of a downside really working in-house is that you can just become very a one-trick pony and you might just tailor in one section. Like you might just literally, oh, I'm just
Yeah.
going to be setting new starters up or I'm going to specialize in taxable benefits, that kind of
Yep.
thing, which is great,
Yep.
but you don't always get involved in the full picture because
Yep.
it's like you just one of quite a big team.
Yep.
Mm,
Whereas the bureau, like my team at the moment, they'll have their own clients, and they can get really focused and really close to those clients and really tailor into what they need and offer like additional training and things like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, in-house, a lot of companies choose to do in-house, but the resources that they need, so they need to pay for the technology, the
Hmm.
software,
Hmm.
the
mm,
skills, the
The
right
person.
person,
Yep.
holiday. They're obviously going to be offering them a contract and they have to offer quite a decent salary as well. It's much more cheaper and beneficial to outsource a payroll. I think some of our clients, they've got bigger and they've decided to take their own finance person in house. But I think they've been quite shocked about they are paying us one fee to do everything. But when we have handed that payroll back to them, they've been really shocked about the software cost,
Yeah.
the extra cost for the
Absolutely.
bureau. You have to
Yep.
pay per user and things like that. Um,
Yep.
so yeah,
Well, but it's
oh,
interesting
wow.
too because we just covered Anita Latink, and she talks about implementing payroll in there, and she says there was a moment in there. She's either way, right? Whether you go in-house or with an outsourced bureau, the company should still have a payroll person in-house to deal with that bureau and to be the partner, because again, what you need somebody to keep them honest at the end of the
yeah,
day.
yeah. I mean, we're for us, we're mainly dealing with the owners or the directors of the companies. We've got probably 20, 30 clients that have a specific HR or
Person.
finance person within the team that we deal with,
Right.
but we deal with that one contact, and they are the ones ultimately between the two of us, the partnership. How it works is obviously we do the payroll, but ultimately they approve. That we have quite a lot of steps in place to make sure that they approve the payroll,
Oh, that's good.
and the things like that. And that's all in the background of our portal as well. So it's like GDPR compliant, which we
Ah,
have. I don't know if you've heard of that.
yeah,
Like you have that
absolutely.
in America, but so it's steps and we can see that they've approved it. But ultimately, obviously, they're outsourcing to us so that we get things right.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's really important for us to have that one contact
Yeah,
and not obviously employees all coming to us,
exactly.
which we stop that. They should really go to their contacts
Yep.
internally, and then
Yep.
in turn they'll come to us.
And escalate. Yeah, kind
Yeah,
of a escalation
yeah,
procedure to you guys. Now, for the
yeah,
folks who don't know, can you easily tell us what GDPR? Is it?
yeah. GDPR. So it's interesting really because it's actually like a European law. So like,
Hmm.
obviously we came out of the EU, so it's like a little bit up in the air at the moment whether we should still comply with that. But
Right.
ultimately, it's like ensuring that we protect people's data.
Hmm.
So in the
Mm.
UK, don't know if you have like, because you have like social security, don't you? So we have
Yeah.
like an NI
Yes.
number,
Okay.
date of birth, obviously like people's personal details.
Personal information. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can't share
PPI, we
that.
call it. Yep.
Yeah, so portals are the best thing for that really because they need a login, they need a password, it's encrypted, people can't get in, but ultimately we shouldn't be sending personal details on email without like it being protected, like with a password
Yep.
and stuff like that. And yeah, it's there to merely protect people's data. The email addresses is a big one as well.
Okay.
We can't share email addresses. So even if we were sending multiple emails to our clients, we have to be really careful that we like blind copy them all in, that kind of
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
But ultimately, that's what it's there for. But it's interesting to see whether it's going to still be as
Really?
applied, really, like where we've left the EU. I don't know, but I think to be honest with you, I think we should still protect people's data
Yeah,
regardless.
exactly right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because even though the GDPR is not, because when it came out, I definitely immediately researched and I was like, oh, okay, this really doesn't apply to US companies. But if US companies are doing business overseas, right, and globally, that's when it does apply. And you don't want to you want to default to your highest level of compliance that
yeah,
you
yeah,
might have to
absolutely.
deal with. In the US, we have SOX compliance,
Right,
and
okay.
it's usually for SOX is specifically for companies that are public. They have to
Right.
comply to a certain standard. But even if you're not a public company, a lot of companies shoot to still like strive for that standard of SOX compliance because then they know they're safe. So it's the same thing with GDPR. Always kept it in mind and was like, hey, we still have to be mindful and should build to these best practices anyway.
Yeah,
Like
I
Mm.
it's
think it's
people's information. Yeah.
absolutely. I think just be mindful anyway. It makes you because if you just have that mindset as well, it's like you are taking your time before you send that email or before you
Yes.
press a button or whatever it is you're
Exactly.
doing. You're kind of
Mhm.
like
Yep.
having that really good check about it. So it's really good, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
It's,
awesome.
it sounds very similar to how we do things here
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
US. So very similar. So
Yep.
I'm interested when we're implementing a new payroll for a new client.
Yeah.
It's important that they get the correct info to us. Is that also a struggle for you on your side? Like
Yeah.
Mm,
It's interesting
mm,
really because
it's a
I
good
don't know how
one.
you feel, but because obviously you're getting information on clients in different formats as well through different
yeah.
softwares and they
Hmm.
use different things and I've actually been really looking into the kind of onboarding software that's out there. Here in the UK, there doesn't
Mhm.
seem to be a specific payroll onboarding type software. So it's something
Mhm.
that I'm actually quite interested in thinking about developing myself or even doing a bit more deeper research, really, because, but yeah, we find sometimes they don't have things or they struggle to get data off the software that they're using or they haven't got it or they're just sending things in so many different formats.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's really interesting because the onboarding for a client that might have 100 staff could be much easier than someone who's got 6
Yep.
Yes.
staff, and it actually takes longer because you're trying to like rummage around and get the basic information.
Yep.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it's like I don't know. Sometimes the bigger the client, the more organized that they've probably been before. Like in
Absolutely. Oh
some
yeah,
cases,
because they're
not in all
dealing with
cases, but
they're
yeah,
dealing with
yeah,
some type of tech stack at that point already.
yeah,
So they have their information. They can get it to you in a CSV or Excel file, I would imagine at that point. But
yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're always
it's
good.
more challenging with a small company. Still, we still come across companies that are still doing things with paper
Yeah,
and are not fully digitized. And it's, oh my gosh, wow.
yeah,
Still,
yeah.
you know.
We still have a client who we email payslips to, but he prints them off and then cuts them in half. And I
God
don't
bless him.
know what he does with them then. Like, you must go out and hand deliver them, but it's you do get clients that are set in their ways. But
Yep.
I think ultimately, like where I've worked in the past, rolling out big portals, a lot of them do see the benefits of it.
Yeah.
They'll see that it's actually a lot easier. It's just, I think sometimes people just get set in the ways and then they don't want to change. But it's
Yep.
when you actually, some clients I'll go on like a one-to-one, like a video call with them and actually show them, and they think, oh, actually, yeah, this is actually really straightforward and actually really going to help. And
Yep.
they don't have to keep rummaging around
Yes.
looking at old emails to find things and stuff like that.
And that's what you'll find. Sometimes it's just getting them comfortable, giving them that extra, that white glove type of service. Like, hey, let me walk you
Yeah,
through it. Let's do it together. Let's get on a Zoom. Why don't you drive? That's a good thing. I like to let folks drive. So it gives them that muscle memory, and get that comfort. You said something about the past. Speaking of the past, how did you get into payroll?
so I think, I don't know, I reckon you guys, I don't know if this is everybody, it's probably not everyone, but the old cliche is that I just fell into it.
Yep. Yep,
That's the
that's
truth
right.
of it.
Yep, by accident.
Yeah, I started my career actually in finance, like an accounts assistant, and then I was actually I actually got a job as an air hostess. So I was actually going to be an air hostess and travel around Europe.
Oh my
And
gosh.
just while I was waiting for like the contracts and paperwork to come through, I actually started temping at a company called Network Rail, which is a big rail company in the UK, which has 30,000 staff. It's a
Oh
really big
goodness.
employer.
Wow.
So yeah, I was temping there for 3 weeks. And at the time, I had stacks and stacks of paper given to me, and I was manually typing tax codes in. So this was before they even came
Wow.
through what we call RTIs, like submissions and stuff. We manually got a piece of paper for every single staff member, and there was
Oh
obviously
my
thousands of
gosh.
pieces of paper all over there.
Oh
So I was there. Yeah, I was meant to be there for 3 weeks, and I ended up being there for 5 years.
my
So
gosh.
they just kind of kept me on, and then I had a decision to make. They offered me a contract, and it was more money than being a hostess. And I decided that I'd just be not, I won't say sensible, but I just decided that I'd stay put and stay in Manchester, and that's what I did. And
Wow.
that was 2004.
Wow.
So yeah, 20
Yeah.
years
20 years
next.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still
Wow.
going. Yeah,
Still
crazy.
going. That's
So
it,
big.
Yeah,
it is. It
Unbelievable.
and it's you're the one that said it. Payroll is a career. You know what I
it
mean?
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I've got big, like, I've just had a growth in the team. So we took someone on about 4 weeks ago, and
Mm.
when we had a one-to-one literally last week, we asked them where they want to be in a couple of years, and she said, I want to be in your shoes. I
There
want
you go.
not your job, but I actually
But
want to hear that.
yeah. Yes.
I want to hear
I
that
get it.
because that makes me think, okay, well, I need to make room for you.
Yep.
And the only way that I can make room for you is for me to go up. Not go up, but for us to get bigger,
Keep
for us to
growing.
get more
Keep bigger.
clients,
Exactly.
get more right there, look into
Exactly.
HR options, that kind of thing. So
I love
I feel like payroll obviously attracts different types of people. You
it.
do have people that might want to specifically stay in one kind of area,
Yes.
people that are more technology driven,
Yep.
or they're quite happy to stay in the lane or to stay in a
Yep.
certain position. You've got people that have got no interest whatsoever of managing people.
That's
And then
right.
you've got people that aspire to be a supervisor, that kind of thing. There's just so many kind of like avenues
Yep.
that you can go down as well.
Yep.
Yep.
And entrepreneurial, you can open your own payroll bureau, right? Your own pay engine. There's folks
Yes.
developing all kind of apps for payroll out there,
Absolutely.
us
Yeah.
included. It's about
Yeah.
bringing the solutions to the table. And
Yeah.
that's what we find most about payroll people. We want to solve things, regardless of what lane you like. We all have that in common. We like solving problems.
Yeah. I think if you've worked in it for that long as well, you can see where improvements can be made, not just
Mhm.
Yep.
in the way that you operate or the services that you offer, but also like the technology, things that are
Yep.
missing. Yeah, well, it seems to be heading in the right direction in the UK as well. There's a lot of there's actually been a few software companies that have come up, and they have actually been designed by people that have worked in payroll for so
Yes,
long because
that's
they've
right.
seen like an, a miss
Hmm. That's
a
right.
misfit in
And
the
those
yeah.
are the
So
best ones because we are in the industry. We're in the
Mhm.
field. We're in the front line solving these problems. Yeah, I love
yeah,
it. I love it.
yeah,
I've been seeing a few companies out there on your side doing a lot of awesome things. It's great to see. It's great to see. Now, tell us about the social media aspect of it, like the TikToks and like
Yeah.
what pushed you guys to do that? Because, like you said, it's not normal for an accounting firm to have all this personality, so to speak. And it was fun to see your last post was hilarious.
Yeah. It
What?
was so good. It was so
What?
good.
Yeah.
yeah,
Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up.
yeah.
Keep it
Oh
up.
well,
Keep it up.
yeah. We'll be pleased to know we've got more to come. Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to take. So in the UK, most people get paid last working day. So the biggest sort of that is our biggest busiest time, should we say, the last week of the month. We're going to take a bit of downtime every single month, 3 hours, put ourselves in a room, and let's just have fun, create
Yep.
TikToks, but also have a mix of TikToks. So at TikTok, you've got to grab someone's attention within what?
Yes.
To say 4 seconds
Five
or something.
seconds. Yep. There you
Yeah,
go.
5 seconds. So
Yep.
some of them are going to be informative,
Hmm.
not serious. I can't do serious, but they'll just give them little tips, talk about maternity, like the rights they've got. And I
Mhm.
feel that if we did that in a really fun, informative way,
Yep.
I'd hope that they would share that with their friends or family,
Yeah.
get the message out because a
Yep.
lot of people, just maternity as an example, they've no idea what they're entitled to, they don't
Yep.
know how it works, they don't know
Yep.
what they're going to get paid, they don't know what's their employer going to do, what do they need to
So
give to their
true.
employer, they don't know anything. It's not taught in schools, it's not nothing to do with tax codes.
Yep.
Anything in the UK is taught in schools.
I love
We
it.
might think it's basic, but that is not basic for
It's our
someone who
word. Yeah.
doesn't know. Yeah,
Exactly right.
so yeah, we're just kind of having fun. But we've got a bit of a sales team, marketing team, and our director that's doing like lots of different TikToks.
Yeah. I
Some have
saw.
gone kind of viral, and
Nice.
yeah,
It's good.
it's really interesting.
It
It's
really is.
refreshing.
Yep.
It's refreshing, really,
It
and
is.
it feels positive as
Yep.
well, like a positive, fun vibe, and it's really attracting. What's interesting is the clients that we end up attracting are very similar.
Nice. Of
Like people
course,
either
because you
get
want
it
to
or they
work with
don't.
people
Like,
that you get along with, right?
yeah, 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 yeah,
That's it.
and it's really it's doing really well, and I
Oh,
think
that's awesome.
I'd speak for a lot of my colleagues that work at Accounts and Legal that we are happy because we're all able to be ourselves, and we're able to have that fun side, and it's not. Yes, we are all the accountants. Most are either qualified or they're working towards a training. We're not messing around, kind of thing. But I
That's
don't think
right.
there's any harm to like, put a bit of a fun spin on things, and I think a lot of people are really happy to just be themselves at
Absolutely.
Yeah.
work, and it's not like we're all in suits and get a
Yep.
really serious corporate kind of place. So it's really good because I just feel that the more positive and happy people are, the more that you will get out of your staff
Absolutely.
Yeah.
as well.
Absolutely.
So
That's amazing. That's amazing because I
yeah,
like that. But kind of like you were to your point, Becky, it humanizes your firm. It makes you like, makes you
Absolutely.
feel relatable and approachable. I can actually relate to these people. They like to have fun and they know their stuff. You know,
Absolutely,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
so they,
We
Most
need
of the
it.
testimonials, I mean, you would never imagine that people would say this, but some of the testimonials are saying that they're looking forward to the quarterly catch-ups with their accountants, or actually look forward to them. Like they find it fun and
That's right.
engaging,
That's
and they're
right.
not bothered when the payroll fee or their accountancy fee goes up because it means
Nope.
that they're growing.
Yep.
yes.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
good.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, keep it up. Keep it up. We're here for it. Share, please. It's the community needs it. And I mean, I love what you said about the positivity. Like it feels good. And it's true.
yeah,
We need it.
yeah,
We need it. We need more content. We're so underserved as we say. So and the you said something, and it's amazing who you attract, right? Because we talk about our demographics all the time. We talk about, oh wow, what kind of traction one video got over another to see what
yeah,
folks like. So I've been telling Walt for a while, hey, I'm hitting a young group, like 13 to 17 for some of my videos. And then my daughter's 19. So she's, yeah, well, folks want to know about stuff. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And we want, and I'm like, dang, wow. I thought, wow, this is going to be for payroll people. And it is. And that's who gravitates, of course. But I never considered the other folks that just were saying something. They want to learn about it. And
yeah,
you're making it fun. We call it edutainment, right?
yeah,
You make it
yeah,
fun to watch. Like if you keep on cranking out those videos, it's going to be hilarious to learn with you.
yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I
so it's
think,
really good.
yeah.
It's really good.
So
I
I
love it.
wonder if like you're the 13 to 17-year-olds, do you think that's because they want to learn about payroll or possibly go and work in payroll?
I
I
hope
wonder if it's like it's
that's what I'm.
interesting.
Yeah, that's where I took it. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
If I don't even care, why if you're watching, then guess what? We have a whole new audience that we didn't even think of, right? And now we
yeah,
can say, hey, this is payroll. And that's why when you said payroll is a career, that's been resonating with me. And I'm like, she's right. And that's amazing. You just articulate it so easily. And we want that. We want to attract new folks to the payroll
yeah,
world and new fresh minds to this. And there it is a career and there is a
yeah,
long path for success here. And you can grow to any heights using
yeah.
payroll as a ladder, right?
Yeah, I
So
think it needs like a bigger platform as well. Like I've been into, I've only been into one school, but obviously like I went around different tables and they were like 12-year-old girls. And every time I said payroll, they just looked at me like I had three heads. Like they did not understand what I was saying. But as
exactly.
soon as I said, why do you think your family go to work? And they're like, instantly they say, well, for money.
There you
And I'm
go.
like, well, how do you think they get that money? Like, how does that process work? And then when
Yep.
you actually think about that for a split second, you think we are really important. We are like what
Yes.
we do is so
Yeah.
important
It's
to keep the
Yeah.
critical.
country moving
Yeah.
and to keep people going to work.
Yep.
If it just stopped, what had happened? But yeah,
I
it's
love
been
it.
interesting. I found that really interesting. And then I felt like when I said, you know what HR is? Yes, yes, yes. You know what accountants are? But they just didn't understand the word payroll.
Yep.
They just thought it was interesting. But
it,
yeah, I
it
think it's
and
just kind of,
it's an opportunity for us. That's what
Yeah.
drives me and Walt. Like if the more folks don't know about payroll, the more we have a platform to share.
yeah,
And that's it. That again, the same thing. You had me thinking about that when you shared that, and we got to get around to more schools and to more opportunities to speak and teach them because they want to learn. They really are genuinely interested in things, and I was just
yeah,
shocked. I was just
yeah,
shocked, and I love it. I'm here for it.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think schools is good as well. I think that just the whole TikTok, just that reach of
Yep.
getting them engaged in something on
Yeah.
TikTok, which is that, and they actually find it funny or relatable or something. I think that's
Exactly.
quite powerful. Yeah,
And that's what my daughter said, right? She's like, if I can relate to you, it doesn't even matter what you're talking about. I want to hear what you got to say. If I'm, you know what I mean? And I was like, wow, it's
yeah,
great. It's an amazing thing.
yeah,
You posted something that I just saw that was really interesting, and it's a gather for a walk and talk. And
yeah, yeah. I
tell me
think
about that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a bit of it works alongside my role really because I'm very content and happy like where I am, and one of the big things that I really advocate for is like mental health, improving people's mental health, not partic even if that's at work, home life, that kind of thing. So one of the things that I've been wanting to do for a while I don't know if they're doing them in America, but they call them like walk and talk. So it's basically people getting out and going for a walk
I think they
whilst
do them.
meeting.
They're walking tours. They're groups that get around. I mean, they may not call it walk and talk, but there are plenty of groups walking around for health for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the idea behind it. Is it's open to everyone. Like they bring the dogs, the kids, anything like that.
I love it.
But it's just opportunity for people to meet like-minded people, or they might want to talk to somebody, or even if it's just getting out there, getting
Yep,
fresh air, going for a nice walk.
that's right.
But yeah, that's the idea behind it. I've no idea where it's going to go. I've put an event out there. It's free, so it's free for people to come, and it's just I don't know who I'm going to attract,
Good
but I
luck.
just think it'd be interesting, and I'm quite. I really just want to help people. Anyone who feels lonely or on their own, or even if I ended up talking to them about the fact that I've probably been on a journey with like payroll jobs, and you go to different jobs, and that if you're not happy somewhere, that there is light at the end of the
That's right.
tunnel, if that whether that means a new relationship or and it's interesting just when people talk who they can I don't really like the word networking. I feel like a little bit loosely, but I feel like you build better relationships when you're just having a conversation because
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
of the first questions that people tend to ask people is what they do. What do you
Hmm.
do for a job?
Yep.
That kind of thing.
Mhm.
And it comes naturally. So if there was that connection where actually I know an accountant or I need an accountant or I need a payroll person or anything, and you
Hmm.
could probably help each other. And
Everybody needs an accountant
yeah,
so
yeah,
everybody needs a
exactly,
good
yeah,
accountant friend in their life for real.
exactly, yeah.
That's good. Good luck with that. And you know
Oh,
what?
thank
So
you.
that means you got to check back with us in a few months and let us know how that's going.
Yeah,
Keep us
it's actually
updated.
yeah, it's in a week's time actually. Yeah,
Good
I'll
luck. Awesome.
Nice. Nice.
Awesome.
yeah, I'll definitely post some photographs
I
on
was just gonna
LinkedIn and
say,
stuff.
yep,
Yeah,
grab some videos, grab some pics, let us know, keep us updated for sure. I
oh,
love it.
Done.
I
thank you.
love it.
Yeah.
So what
Great.
does the future look like for your staff and for what you want to do? Like, is it growth? Is there somewhere else that you're aspiring to go to?
Yeah, I think that where if I was to sit back now and look where we've come from in 2 years, it's wow, because when we first started and I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still
That's right. Good for
looking
you.
for looking to the team for ideas. Should we do it this way? What should we do it that way? And things have developed. Things are constantly developing and changing every single month, how we do
Yep.
this workflow that we've got or different things. So it's always evolving. I think that for me personally, I want to get more into attracting new clients and more into, obviously I do onboard clients, but I want to go out there and really get some juicy clients, some quite big ones. And not
Gotcha.
necessarily people that are looking for accountants, people that are looking for payroll
Yeah.
bureaus as well. So like
Yep.
even if it was payroll only clients that come on board and then potentially other services get added on. So we're looking into um offering a HR function.
Okay.
So we get asked a lot of HR based questions, and
Hmm.
it's always a little bit of a should we be answering this or but
I love it.
people just expect you to answer things, don't they? You can't just go, oh,
Yep.
sorry, go somewhere else. So yeah, so
Beat it. Beat it.
we're looking at launching hopefully a HR function, which will work alongside adding on to the software that we've already got. So we're offering HR and then building that department up. In my ideal world, shall we say, in my head,
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
thinking HR payroll function and every single person. I absolutely love the team that I have. I'm very lucky because I can generally say that we're all friends, and
Nice.
it's really refreshing because sometimes it doesn't feel like a job. It literally doesn't feel like a job. I
That's
mean, I'm
awesome.
not gonna. You do have your things happen, things go wrong.
Of
You know, you have your
course.
bad days and
Mhm.
stuff, but
Mhm.
we all
Mhm.
learn from that. But I think personally, it's kind of just building them up. We've got one that's been apprentice that came on board as apprentice, so they're going to be soon doing like exams and things like that. And then it's almost getting the next person in and
Yep.
like just
Yeah.
Yep.
trying to build
Yep.
upwards and build teams and give them the opportunities
Look, you
in
have an
those careers as
opportunity
well.
there. If you guys figure out how to bottle that up, that chemistry you guys have all gotten, oof,
Yeah,
that's what I want to hear about. How do we build teams like that? If you feel like you're not even working, that's the secret
honestly,
sauce right
I'm
there.
yeah, definitely. I think that for me personally, the way that I've recruited staff is I have got, well, apprentice, obviously they didn't have any payroll experience. That's all been like taught, and then along with going to college and things. But for me, personality and the person and their skills is, I'm happy they've got payroll experience, but they don't need to have a wealth of knowledge in terms of years and years of experience, because a lot of it can be taught, and it's all about their attitude.
Yes.
Yes.
Right attitude.
That
Yes.
resonates.
You're
Yes.
you're singing our song, right? You're
Yeah,
singing our song.
you get,
That's
yeah,
yeah, absolutely. We
Yeah.
say that
yeah,
we've said it on the show many times. We hire for attitude. We can teach the skill.
yes,
Yep.
completely, massive believer in that.
Yeah.
Huge, yeah.
Now, as far as countries are concerned, do you guys is just exclusively the UK or all of the
Yeah.
EU or
Well, yeah, now you actually said before about like where do you want to go and what do you want to do. I'm so interested in trying to offer different things, but what we are finding is that a UK company, because a lot of people are working remote,
Mhm.
they're actually
Yep.
hiring staff that do not live in the UK, so they live in different countries. They might even live in America
Yeah.
or in Europe and things like that. And
Yeah.
it's really interesting that. So it's where do they pay the taxes? They reside in different countries. There's all different things going on, and I think that whether we venture into something different, whether we do offer Irish payroll, because obviously it's completely different. I've done Guernsey and Jersey payrolls before. They have completely separate rules, so completely different terminology. Everything they do completely different.
Oh,
So it's whether if we did research and there was potential for that side of the thing to grow, and then obviously we have different teams for different countries. I don't know,
right.
like why not?
Why not? Yo, there you go.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
More of growth. I love it.
I'm excited to see where you go.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
Definitely, I'm
you
excited.
guys as well. Yeah,
you're reading my mind, sir. Yeah, we're here for
yeah.
it. We're gonna love to watch the growth.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Anything else that we want to cover before we go?
Um,
Becky has a football game to go to, so I don't want to hold her.
yeah. So it's Manchester United versus Manchester City women. It's the women's team.
Awesome.
All right.
Yay.
Yeah,
So
but
who's your team? Because they're both Manchester teams?
Manchester United. Yeah,
Okay.
Reds. Yeah, yeah. The Reds. Yeah,
The
they've only been
Reds.
going about
Ah, you
five
got the
years,
red
but
hair going. I see now. I see the red glow
yeah,
going. Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I will be screaming. Yeah, you see a different side of me that just screaming at the pit.
Nice. Good.
Okay.
Good. I hope you have a good time.
Oh,
And
thank
Walt,
you.
any closing remarks, questions? So great to have you. Your energy is awesome. We love it.
Yeah.
And
So it's comforting for me to connect with you, Becky, because we share a lot of the same ideals and same thought processes. And it just goes back to what Brian and I always say, there's a certain type of person
Yeah.
that payroll people are. And it's just evident because a lot of the stuff you said just resonated with me and Brian, and that we were just shaking our head.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's
so
crazy, isn't it?
it's
Yeah,
refreshing. It's refreshing that even though you're on the other side of the world, that you still share a lot of the same philosophies as we do. So that blessed my soul today.
yeah. Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah. I think that wherever you are, wherever you work for, it's one big community, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm more of like getting people together rather than competition.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
to work together and to change things or give people advice. I mean, quite lucky in the UK that I've become a member of different groups. Got a few WhatsApp groups going on with different payroll bureau managers as well.
Oh, good.
And we
Nice.
actually, and it's genuine, like they genuinely
Yeah.
just, if someone's got a question, they help each other. There's
Just trying to
no,
help.
well, that's my client. No, nothing like that. And it's really good. And it's just about finding that as well, because it's not everywhere. It's about finding that community as well. But
Yep.
yeah, no, it's interesting. I think obviously like working payroll, it takes a certain type of person, because I don't know how you feel with your roles and things, that you have to multitask. You have to work to
Yes.
deadlines. You used
Mhm.
to work under pressure, but you get something out of that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You kind of, it's like adrenaline, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
it's so rewarding when you've actually completed something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And not everyone can do that. It's not for
No.
everyone. It's
No,
just
it's
not.
not.
But yeah, once you get the right people through the door,
Yep.
you
That's
know, it's
it.
about
That's right.
keeping them. So yeah.
That's right. There's an author here, a business author in the US, Jim Collins, and
Yeah.
he's got a good to great, and he says you got to get the right people on the bus, right?
Yep.
Doesn't even matter where
Yeah.
you're going. If you got the right people on the bus, that place is gonna be good. You know,
Yeah. I like
right? Yeah.
that. Yeah. Good.
What a pleasure, Becky. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having
We
me.
wish you, we wish you great success and in your growth, and we hope that you come back in a few weeks, maybe a little bit, a couple of months, and let us know how things are
Yeah.
going. No?
Yeah. I mean, it'd be really good, like, if we brought the team in as well or something.
Yeah.
Brought all them
Yeah.
on.
Heck
Why not?
yeah. Let's do it.
Let's
Yeah.
Heck
do
yeah.
it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's plan that for sure. I would love that. We've been talking
Yeah.
about having a bigger group here, and we just need the group. We got to, and if you help us coordinate that, shoot, let's do it. We have a panel discussion on some stuff. That
Yeah.
would be
But if I
awesome.
get anyone coming my way that wants American payroll
Co-
or anything, I
we-
know where to send them to.
yeah, absolutely. And we've been covering all kind of payroll now. You global payroll now we got, so
Yeah.
we're covering the whole spectrum now. We're in
Okay.
over 40 countries. So look, you just taught the
Wow.
world about UK payroll. You know?
Wow.
So it's an
Good.
amazing thing. You can continue to help this community grow and teach us. And we got to learn about Irish payroll. You piqued my interest now on that.
Yes.
And we're
Yes.
gonna do
Yeah.
a whole global series and get folks to come in and do each country. That'll be
Why
cool.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
that'd be
not?
really good. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Oh, more to come from Becky Dillon, folks. Thank you so
Yes.
much for joining us, Becky. It was truly an honor to have you, and we're really thankful for that.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been really good.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Thank you, folks. Till the next time, it's about payroll. We're your hosts, Brian and Walter. And today's show with Becky Dillon. Thank you, folks. All right. That's it.
Wow.